It's over for the new Snow White. Before we get started, guys, I'd like to ask for a favor. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. It helps the YouTube algorithm. Now let's get started. So it seems like the new cast for the new Snow White, the live action remake that Disney is putting out in 2020, is intent. They seem intent on literally wanting to destroy any semblance of Snow White. So a few weeks ago, I made a video about this new Snow White, which isn't played by a white person. So that was a problem already as it was, because the story is about a girl that her skin is as white as snow, and that's why she was called Snow White. The dwarves were also replaced by a diversity cast of regular people. Like literally, there's like regular sized people of like all shades and colors. There's even a girl there, a black girl, and there's literally one dwarf in the remake. I'll put up the pictures for you guys to see. The actresses in this new Snow White initially had this to say about the new Snow White.
You said you were bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in.
Snow White is running for president.
I'm launching my campaign. Yeah.
So as you guys can see there, she already said that she wasn't going to be saved by the prince. She was going to be a girl boss, because love story's bad, okay? Girls shouldn't aspire to fall in love. They should aspire to be successful women. And it's not like you can't do both at the same time, but sure, let's just girl boss. Don't have kids and worry about your career. And by the time you're 40, when it's too late for you to have children and start a family, you just get yourself some plant, some cat, and you live miserably ever after. It seems like that's what Hollywood is pushing now, in my opinion. But then Rachel Ziegler, which is playing Snow White, has decided that she was going to further step in it and say this about the new Snow White.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird. So we didn't do that this time. Cast a guy in the movie, right. Andrew Burnap, great dude. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut, who knows? It's Hollywood, babe.
Okay, so evidently now the prince is a stalker. He was stalking her, and so we're not going to do the love story anymore, because the original story was, made in 1937. Misogynism bad, okay? I mean, that's what we're going with. It just seems like Disney is literally trying to destroy all of the IP that made Disney iconic. All of the stories that made Disney what Disney is today. Just literally taking their old stories, remaking them, and destroying them in the process. The prince was literally not a stalker. The princess literally wished for her true love to show up, and then the prince showed up. That's what happened in the story.
I'm gonna stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess. I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
Yeah, that's not how that works. That's why you're paid up front. You signed the contract and you said, hey, I'm going to get paid this much money to produce the movie, and then the people that funded the movie will reap the benefits of the movie. If that's the kind of contract you wanted, you could have asked for that before signing a contract. No one forced you into this role. That's not how that works. You don't get paid for every hour that the movie streamed. You got paid up front, you got paid your money, and you might receive royalties if it's within your contract, right? But you don't deserve to be paid. It's like saying, well, they're playing the movie, therefore I'm still working. I'm still producing the movie. The movie's still being worked on. No, that's the finished product. You don't get to claim that you deserve something for work that is already done. You mean to tell me that you should be sleeping at home and getting paid every time somebody in the middle of the night decides that they're gonna watch this garbage?
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. Like, I'm being so serious. I watched it once and then I went on the ride in Disney World, which was called Snow White's Scary Adventure. Doesn't sound like something a little kid would like. Was terrified of it. Never revisited Snow White again. So I watched it for the first time in probably 16, 17 years. when I was doing this film.
She clearly hates Snow White. She clearly hates the movie. I mean, she said she saw it as a child and was terrified. You know what, for you to have been terrified of Snow White as a child, you know what you had to have been told? Like what your parents had to have been putting in your mind? Because kids are pretty innocent. I didn't look at movies and as a kid and think like, oh my God, like what's going on? He totally like kissed her without her consent and revived her. Like, oh my God, he totally S.A.'d her. Like that's not what you think about as a kid, unless somebody's literally putting those ideas in your head, or you're just lying. Could be that, right? She could be just lying. Who knows? But yeah, she clearly hates it. Went on a ride, hated it, and watched the movie again while remaking it, which I don't understand why they needed to watch the movie. I said it in my last video. They're not remaking Snow White. That's what they're calling it, but it's not Snow White. She hates the movie anyway, so I don't even know why she even accepted the role. Well, I guess when you hate something and you want to bastardize it and destroy it, yeah, you go ahead and you do that. But anyways, guys, that's all I got for this video. Seems like Rachel Ziegler can't stop putting her foot in her mouth. This press tour has been extremely bad. She's literally gonna put off a lot of people. This remake, in my opinion, is probably gonna bomb, and then cue the racism, cue the sexism. That's what it's gonna be blamed on, because that's what we always default to when a movie, a movie that stars minorities that's garbage, or that stars women that's garbage. That's the accusation every time. That's the default to go to. It was racism and sexism. It wasn't because the actual movie was garbage. It was those two things. Oh, and and misogyny, obviously, you gotta throw that one in there too. We're just supposed to ignore when a movie with a strong female lead actually does well, and a lot of people enjoy it, like Sarah Connor in the Terminator series, Alien, Lara Croft, that I've mentioned before. Those are movies that are wildly successful and loved by many people and did great at the box office. They had lead women. That's all I got for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, all that good stuff. Follow me on social media. The links are always in the description down below. And if you enjoyed this video, check out one of my other videos. They're right there on the screen. I'll see you guys in the next one.